Hunnit. I start fucking with you niggas cause you slowing on this chicken. Tell me what you want, but you never benefiting. Let them leave, nigga, just complete all your missions.
What's going on? This your boy James, bring you another podcast. You got a We Are Reckless Entertainment member joining us on this podcast. Introduce yourself.
Yo, this is Medina. I'm the 1 and 2, you feel me?
You already know, tell them what you know him by.
What's up?
I said tell them what you know him by, a.k.a.
AKA Chef Medina, feel me?
Chef Medina.
I'll do all the plugs later, actually. Let me wait on that, you feel me?
Alright, so today is just a normal podcast talking about random events that's happening. Just venting about trending topics, with the what's going on, and voicing our input on it. You know what I'm saying? So I could start off, John, or you could start off. We're gonna get right into it.
But
like I said, if you're new to the channel, which should be everybody, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? So we can get this shit moving. We keep shit real. We keep shit unfiltered, uncut, unedited, and we express it. We are Reckless Entertainment, the Reckless Podcast. Let's go! John, you got the topic?
lies. Not my phone starting to call. But alright, so let's see. Where do we start? Oh, let's see. So I feel like as we spoke on earlier, we were discussing the issue with with everything going on with like police brutality, whatnot. I guess we had like an incident here recently in Syracuse with a cop mushed the guy's face from like an event that was going on with some kids. The officer happened to be was on paid leave, and the police department has to actually investigate the case further, like from the video and whatever the officer says and whatnot, and everybody else that was there. But it's just like with everything going on nowadays, it's like it just continues to these things continue to happen, and it's not just I don't know, it's not just it's obviously is a big issue and whatnot, but it's just like if they already hear about this, which I know they do, why continue? Even if emotions run high and whatnot, just think about your actions before executing the actions. I think there was like multiple other ones going on around in the city as well. Like I know for you, James, there was one going on where what happened? Like I guess he got his face stomped on or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, that was the situation in Utica, and I want to bite in on what you mentioned with the emotions running high with the police.
Mm-hmm.
As I mentioned in my podcast, uploaded on 9/15, I was like, officers are getting trained for this type of environment. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you get officers that break character and can't handle stressful environments, they feel the need to retaliate and let emotions be their next move into handling situations. So from the event from Syracuse, I don't think it was as bad, because if I was a cop, if I was in that cop shoes, I would feel the same way. But as far as putting your hands in somebody's face, that's just overboard. The guy that the cop was, I know the situation, I watched the video, but just for somebody to scream at you, you pussy, you this, you that, it will kind of irritate me. But as a law enforcement officer, you need to learn to just walk away from situations. He tried to use the big bad. I got a badge. I see him as though I could overpower you. So he got in his face and he said, "Say it again." He said it again in his face. Then what? He mushed him in the face. But the situation, when you compare that to the Utica situation that happened to Kerwin Taylor with the when he was actually restrained, calling a cop pussy and all this stuff, and then getting kicked in the head 4 times, 2 different complete situations, but they both are the same situations with cops not being able to control their anger when dealing with these situations. And
just
go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, just speaking from my personal experience, like you know, you and I worked together, right? We both worked security and whatnot. For those listening, and we worked at a health center, a mental health center, right? Fact. And there were times where there were like clients that would come in and, you know, God knows what was going on with them, and they would see us and they would think, you know, oh, we're security, we're authority, cops, you know, those type of associations, and we will get, you know, get called so many different names. Well, now there'll be times, you know, emotions will be running high, some things will happen, but at the end of the day, we gotta know how to keep our cool and keep our demeanor, because at the end of the day, like, if something were to happen to them, that'll come back on us, and that's it for our job.
Right.
So if we are able to do it, you know, just as quote unquote authority figure in their eyes, what's so different in their case? You know what I'm saying? And this is something we weren't even trained for that. We train ourselves in those type of situations.
Right.
We just got to keep, you know, a cool head and whatnot. What makes it so different for them? For people that are trained for, you know, oh so long of how to handle certain situations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you 100%. And then the thing is, I mentioned yesterday as well, I was like, I believe law enforcement officers or anybody in that criteria, they need to have some type of mental health training or psychology training so that they can be able to identify personnel with mental disorders. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when they get those calls to domestic disputes, or even just a call in general, and they get a guy running butt ass naked down the street, obviously he's not in the right state of mind. That then and there should be the first red alert to say, okay, this guy is having some type of trouble. I'm gonna try to get to the bottom of it, almost without going to a gun, without going to a taser, whatever, or
without
using excessive force,
physical, you know, force or anything. Just try to talk to the person,
right?
Whether it's man, just talk. I've been taught this. This is what I've been taught just from former, you know, cops that were my professors in my time in college. Is the golden tongue rule, and that's just communication. You know, the golden tongue rule really is just helping yourself, getting yourself out of situations, just verbally, just talking. You know, just that communication piece. If you could just do that, you get yourself out of any situation. You don't even got to use any type of physical force at all. If you could just verbally talk to people and just know how to communicate, you'd be perfectly fine. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You ain't got to worry about taking out your gun. You ain't got to worry about pulling your hands out. You got your hands in your pocket, you be talking, and then boom.
Right. And then the thing, because you mentioned that we worked at Helio Health in Syracuse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if not every situation, most of them, any problem we dealt with is just using our voice to, you know, keep conversations or keep tensions, keep emotions, keep anger at a low, without using a gun, without using physical force. We both worked at Helio for almost a year, if not. So we had 0 physical force with the clients, at least 0. We didn't. I don't recall having a physical encounter with a client. We were able to handle situations just by talking to them.
Right. We never had to put our hands on them or anything.
And then these clients, they're from the streets of Syracuse. If you're familiar with Syracuse, downtown North Salina Street is a haven for your cokeheads, it's just a bad section of Syracuse. And then they were able to put this outpatient center into the middle of where all the problem is. So we deal with all those problems. Then we deal with people fresh out of jail that's on parole or probation. We deal with people that has to go there or they go to jail. And it's like when we put ourselves in that position, you know, we're in this. We have to watch our bags. We can't not necessarily not trust them. These groups. This group of people are the same people that the police in the community are having trouble with, and we're able to keep them at a neutral. We're able to keep tension neutral between us. When they look at it, because we have the authority to get them arrested, we have the authority to kick them out of the outpatient. We have the power to literally ruin their lives. But we didn't do that. We were able to show them that it's more than just going into the latrine or the bathroom and doing drugs, whatever. We showed them that if you do this, it's always a negative consequence with that. And that's what some cops don't get. They don't want to take that talk approach. Once they get the gun and the badge, they want to sit and they want to show that they're above the law and show them that they're better than them. Because that's what I'm getting. I'm not saying all cops are like that, but what's going on now, trigger happy cops. So, like I said, one cop represents the whole department.
Right. So now let me get this. Like, at the end of the day, we're all human. You know what I'm saying? So, in a shape or form, each person, each officer, like us, is gonna know somebody that's in that situation. It may be them, it might be their cousin, their brother. It's just gonna be somebody they know, even a friend that's in that situation. They should know how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, they may not know it too well, but it's just like, oh, I know of someone that's there. So it's just like, in those type of situations, I don't know, for me, it'll make me think of somebody. You're like, oh, I know this person, but you know what I'm saying? Like, here's my experience, so on and so forth. Whether it's a good experience or bad experience, but at the end of the day, you're gonna know somebody that's been in this type of situation or in those type of situations.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So even looking back at, Helio Health, that place built me as a person with going on to this field, this film, because I'm able to literally use voice to help me in situations that requires, just for someone to talk to, because you're going to have people screaming at you, you're going to have people throwing insults at you. So the first thing in my mind is just to talk, because obviously they're mad about something. You don't want to go straight to using that equilibrium. In security, they say, oh, if someone uses force, you have to return that with the equal amount of the energy. The energy that they're giving you, you have to match that. That's
gotta be equal.
That's not always true. Like, if we were able to, remember security officer Steven Kruka? They hated him. Like, the people there hated him. But he was able to keep multiple situations down when they were ready to throw fists and be like, yo, you hit me, you're going to get kicked out of the outpatient facility, and then you're going to be in jail because you failed to maintain that court-ordered thing to do. So it's like when we remind them the consequences of their actions, it's like when they look at it, it's like, nah, it's not even worth it. I'm gonna move on from it. I see you, and then think about it, you're gonna have to see us tomorrow. So whatever you do, it's gonna come back. It's gonna, like, I'm gonna always be there. So just let that anger die out and just get over it. So some cops don't have that. Some cops, they get that little bit of energy and it's like, yeah, I could ruin your life if I want to. I could put you in jail if I want to. Then they go home and sit with their family and be like, yeah, you know how many people I arrested today? But they don't look at all the people that they arrested, being the males or the mothers or the fathers, and then don't realize that something that was so petty, they could have used their discretion and be like, all right, I'm gonna give you a ticket for doing that instead of arresting them, because they don't know what that person is going through. When we worked at Helio, we seen what the people were going through, so we did not judge whatsoever. That's one thing that when I was supervisor there, Like, we did not judge. We listened to the story and we found out why are they in that predicament they're in. And it's kind of some fucked up stories. You know, I'm not gonna go too far in details, but it sucks what they go through to get at that point. Go ahead, John.
You can't, because you're gonna be violating HIPAA. You know that.
It's not necessarily, you can't violate HIPAA if you talk on a situation. You just can't address the names.
Oh yeah, of course.
So it's like, I'm looking back at it now, and I realize that it's definitely something to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like, you know, doesn't it give you a good feeling when you help somebody out? I mean, it does for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it does. I mean, look at all the people we help. Look at all the people we helped at Helio. We helped a shit ton of people to better themselves, and they're going to these clinicians and they're going to these counselors to help them, and we're doing a better job than they are because they know people. We from the street. Well, I'm from the streets. I grew up in proud poverty. I grew up in the ghetto, so I know what these people that are going through these crises and these mental health problems are going through. So they'll come to me and listen to me before they go to somebody that got paid to be a counselor. You can't pay to counsel somebody, in my opinion. You have to physically go through what they went through, get treatment, get help yourself, and then talk to them so you could talk them into how you recovered. You know what I'm saying? You can't have somebody that went to school and their mommy and daddy paid for it, and then they go help people that they don't care about.
It's just there for the money. At the end of the day, like, you gotta. It's that. Don't get me wrong. There's gonna be people there who's just there for the money. It's always that. It's always like that in any job.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be.
And then
there's always gonna be people.
Go ahead. And then when you compare that to police, it's like you got police that went straight to college. Some of them. Mommy and daddy pay for college, and then they're from the suburbs, they're from the high, rich areas, and then they come and police the ghetto, and everything that their parents and what they were influenced in school or whatever, what criminals look like and what they do, they go into this middle class, poor community and start policing it. And then they realize that the way the middle class move and the way they move growing up is different. So every action that we take, it seems suspect to them. You know what I'm saying? So they use their first sense of us being, you know, a suspect as something like we're up to no good. Instead of having cops that's from that people from that community become cops and police their own communities, instead of having people that's not from the community police it. It's kind of the same thing when we're talking about counselors counseling these people with mental health disorders. We have to have people that been what they've been through, try to help them and try to counsel them. You know what I'm saying? So some people can relate. Because some of these cops never been to a middle class neighborhood before, never been around black people before. So just to have them come into an aspect and try to police something, it's just always room for corruption.
Yeah, they're going off based on what they think they know or what they've been quote unquote taught, versus, you know, going out and actually studying the field and actually looking, you know, actually helping out the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Even if they are from a different neighborhood, at the end of the day, you want to go ahead and study the neighborhood. You want to be prevalent in that neighborhood, not like, you know, for the book, by the book kind of thing. But you, at the end of the day, you want to know your people that you're gonna be, you know, protecting and you know, and serving. So it's not like you just like I said before. There's gonna be people there to be there for the paycheck. It's there for the money. They don't care about who they're, you know, serving, who they're helping, whatever the case may be. And then you're gonna have those other people who's there because of, you know, because of heart, because they actually have a heart, because they actually care. You know, it's not about the money. It's actually because they actually care. They want to help. So it's always gonna be those two different sides.
Right.
But you see more of people who's there to get paid versus who would do it voluntarily.
That's correct.
And that says something.
So to add back onto the police violence, police brutality, I want your input. I want your opinion on this statement, on this sentence that I am going to read. And it's
you still here, buddy?
Oh. Yeah, I'm here. I just talked and you were muted. My bad. Remember the whole muted thing?
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm gonna say is I'm gonna read something from mappingpoliceviolence.org. I'm gonna read you the number, and I want your input and I want your opinion on it. So, according to this website by Samuel Senyengui, I can't pronounce his last name. It says that police have killed 781 people in 2020.
And this is like, where's this statistics from? Is this from America?
This is from America, just USA, United States. All right, and then also in 2020. So what it also says is black people have been 28% of those killed by police in 2020, despite being only 13% of the population. Black people consist of only 13% of the United States population. And out of the police killings in 2020, 28% of that 781 people have been killed by the cops. What's your input on that?
So, because it's statistics, it's like I can't say like one or the other. So I can't be like, that's bad.
Let me rephrase the word statistics. This is actually live mapping.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to change that statistic word out to actual people that have been killed by police in 2020, being 781 people.
But see, here's my thing, and I get it. Don't get me wrong. That's a high number, and just the year alone, we're not even done with the year. Like we're almost close to the end of the year, and that's a high. But at the same time, how many of those was like unarmed? How many of those was armed? You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta look at. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong at all. I'm saying like most of those probably gonna be unarmed, but other those are probably gonna be like, oh, okay, they were like in an engaged, shooting type of thing. Some of them were probably just, oh, this happened and then boom, this person ended up dead type of situation. And then some of those are just like, oh, okay, well maybe this is what happened kind of deal, So, but that is look at the numbers you just said.
So I wanna answer that question that you put out. You said out of that 781 people that were killed, how many were unarmed?
Yeah.
I want to look up that answer. Out of that 781, I'm having trouble locating that answer. But if I was to give an estimate out of that, and that's taken into effect of someone walking up to a cop with a knife, somebody walking up to a cop with a bat, shit like that. Not even an actual weapon like a gun, you know what I'm saying, or any object that could be used to kill a cop. So I'm talking about a gun. I'm talking about a sword or some sort, a knife.
Deadly physical force we're talking about here, not the physical force, but something that's
deadly.
That's gonna really jeopardize your safety.
Correct. Let me map this out real quick. So I'm a Google, and I'm using a reliable source. Unarmed people killed by police 2020. And then I know that's a generic thing to type on Google, but it's always a source. So I'm gonna go to the Washington Post and I'm gonna go to USA Today because those are reliable sources.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not getting an actual number on that, and it's taking me back to 2015. But just moving on, I could say that, with the police shootings with, oh, I thought he was reaching for a gun and stuff like that. I say out of that 781, I want to say at least 2/3 of those killings that police have done. I say 2/3 people die that were unarmed, and I believe that 1/3 of the people killed were actual armed, or in fact, to the officer's point of view, had something that was identified as a weapon. So when we talk about this number, we talking about African Americans being between 10 and 20% of the United States population. It's like, damn, seeing that number, that's kind of low. 13%.
No, it's and like
Damn.
it's only 13. Like as the statistic says, we're only 13% of the population, but 28 of their killings were African American. Think about that. And then of 2020 in America alone, it's been 780. What was it? 781 killings of police killings.
Yep. And out of those 700 plus kills by police in 2020, there have only been 12 days in 2020 where police did not kill someone. And I read this on the Washington Post. It said that the police have been killing at least one person a week. So that means statistically, this year, police have killed somebody one time a week. I mean, if you look at that, it's kind of shocking. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the killings aren't actual killings. When we look at Breonna Taylor, when we look at George Floyd, when we look at Eric Garner, when we look at cases like those, it's like these people that we trust to wear that uniform, wear that badge, are the ones that's, committing more crimes than the actual civilians are.
Right.
Bow! So moving on to the next subject. We're going to talk about standards within a relationship, before a relationship, after a relationship. So before a relationship is something that you want when you get into one. Standards when you're in a relationship, because people's standards could change when you're in a relationship. So it's like, we could talk about that. We could talk about the before when people get out of a relationship, what their expectations are for their next relationship. So my viewpoint on expectations before a relationship, psychologically, every person wants to find someone that has similarities like their own. Someone that has something that's similar to what they do, because nobody wants to find someone that's completely different and then have to build them up to like their interests that they like. You know what I'm saying? So they want to find someone that has equal similarities or equal traits, equal hobbies, equal interests like they do, instead of finding someone that's a complete opposite and they have to put them on to situations or put them on to things that they like. What's your input on that? You agree with that?
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Continue.
So it's like with me, when I got into my first relationship, we were completely different. So it was always bumping heads. It was always like the interest wasn't there. So it's like what I had to do when we actually got into a relationship, I had to change the standards. I had to change my standards by liking what they like, so we could have similar interests, so we could go out and start doing things that we both like. You know what I'm saying? Instead of actually changing for them, because when you actually like somebody, you want to do what they want to do. You want to have those similar interests so that you could keep their interest. And then, the outcome of a relationship. I mean, I never experienced the outcome of the relationship, but when I say that, if I was to have an outcome of a relationship, I would like that person to be equal to me, so I don't have to build that person to liking things that I like. You know, find somebody that has interest in watching basketball. Have someone that has interest in doing the things that I like. You know, similar things in store. So that's my point on standards. What's your point on it, John?
So for me, it's like I don't know. It's been a minute since I've been in a relationship. I ain't gonna hold you. But for me, it's like I don't know. A lot of people have too many high standards, and I feel like it's been influenced by like social media. You know, just by the environment, whatever the
That's
case
a
may be.
fact.
So my thing is, it's like, bro, just as I tell people, just be you, and then as you develop a relationship with anybody, it'll evolve. You know, they don't. If somebody likes something, don't try to like that. Don't try to be that so you can impress them. You know, they're gonna if they really like mess with you, they really like you. They don't like you for you. And then as the relationship goes on, as you guys are like bonding and stuff like that, it just starts to form. They'll just start liking what you like to do. Like for example, some people will be like, oh, I don't want somebody like this. For example, for me, right? I might mess around and be like, oh, I want to find me a wrestling buddy. But at the end of the day, am I really gonna find that? Maybe, maybe not. You know. But I might be playing around, but sometimes people be really serious, like, oh, this person has to be this person has to be, meet these standards, and if they miss one, I can't have that. And I'm like, no. Sometimes you just gotta. It's a thing called sacrifice, and sometimes you gotta sacrifice to get what you're looking for, to get what you want. There, everyone's not gonna be picture perfect. No one's gonna be a 10 out of 10. It might be an 8 out of 10 potential. But at the end of the day, like you are they're sacrificing stuff for you, but are you sacrificing things for them? It's a two-way street there. So when it comes to standards, it's like you just gotta have. For me, you just gotta have moderate standards. Some things that ain't just about. I don't want to say anybody could achieve, but just most people can achieve. You don't want to have something that's so high, and then people are trying to compete to get there, and then if they can't get there, they're stressing themselves out. They're like, oh my god, I can't do it. Like, nah, you can do it. You're just doing it for the wrong person. Catch my drift?
Definitely. Like that was spot on. That was some real shit right there. Yeah, so yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. Like that was some real shit that was spoken. Like and then you mentioned that, some type like relationships now are based off of what social media tells people what they should look for in their next person and shit like that. And that's facts. Like that was the realest shit I heard this year. Because like what I see now, it's like females are portraying these celebrities that's making millions. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Females are portraying these Instagram models and shit. You know what I'm saying? But they don't have shit. They living in the attic. They bed on the floor and shit like that. And then you got some guys that don't have shit. You know what I'm saying? But they could spend a check on, some expensive ass foreign clothes and shit. And that's what these new humans like. And they try to be attracted by that. So I mentioned a couple days ago, I was like, you can't sit here and advertise yourself into liking something. Why no, you can't have the thought process of wanting someone that's in your mind that you shape, that you want, but then you on social media with your ass all out, titties all out, talking crazy all out. It's like you're gonna attract what you advertise.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when we talk about standards, if I was to see that, I would think that your standards are low, because females that have high standards, shit, they boss up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They keep shit real. They keep themselves concealed. They don't want the whole world to know what they going through. And you got females that's so blunt about what's happening in their home, and then it's like, bruh, you're exposing yourself without somebody else having it. Like, you're gonna attract people that you're entertaining, people that are entertained by you. But the people that you shape in your head are the ones that's falling back. So what I mentioned in an earlier podcast is always that NAS statement, NAS, niggas ain't shit statement, bitches ain't shit statement. Because it's like, it's what you attract. So if you attract trash, you might have to reconsider what you're doing, how you're advertising yourself. Because if I think that you're portraying to be some type of social media OnlyFans creating as female, or some thug that don't give a fuck about females and all this extra shit, don't get mad in 10, 20 years. You don't have shit. You don't have love. You don't have none of that. Because you're still searching for the person that you chased away. So when that goes into saying that standards before a relationship, it's going to be hard for you to find someone that lives up to your standards, because you're not acting on your standards. You can't have standards for someone else if you're not already there. You know what I'm saying?
Just the saying, have your cake and eat it too. But at the end of the day, too, it's always a cycle. You're gonna be chasing somebody who's not even looking your direction, while there's somebody else chasing you. So it's just a cycle.
Yeah, and then the cycle could go in reverse though.
Yeah, true.
If you are entertaining someone, your standards were good and shit. You know what I'm saying? The person that you want and that person that want you, y'all could be looking eye to eye, but it's just that social media is that barrier. Because what you sharing and what you saying on social media is what's chasing that other person away. Like, why is she doing that? She never act like that. She never post like that. So it's like, be honest. If you want somebody, keep it real. Like, just, I'm fucking with you. I wanna do this, and that. Instead of putting on a stunt to entertain that person. Because what you're doing is just pretty much running that person away. So that's what I got on that, and that's what I find to be kind of crazy. And you said that social media being that standard for most people. It's like if you look past social media, if you look past all that extra shit, bro, life is good.
Right. Remember the video that we both seen earlier is probably the best example. So remember the dude, he was just saying the girl was like, I don't know if you're able to pull it up and just play it. If not, I'm able to.
Wait, you sent it in my messenger?
You
sent it in my messenger?
No. Remember on Snapchat?
No, I can't look on Snapchat right now.
All right.
Oh, yeah. I know you talking about. That's the one where he was complimenting Shorty, and then Shorty was like just being mad bougie.
Mm-hmm. And then he got mad.
And then he got mad. I don't blame him though, bro.
you hold on. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get for y'all so y'all can hear it. But I don't. But did he really have to get? Yeah. Did he have to get so mad?
Yes, he did. He had every single right. All right, so listen to this. So I forgot his name. It started with a Z, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna call him Z, and then we're gonna call the other person bougie ass female. So Z, I guess, commented on her pictures, was liking her pictures, like, yo, you fire, I fuck with you, like, you're bad, like, what up? So then she got. Hold
on. We're not in the audio right now. Hold on.
Oh, he about to pull up the audio. All right, let me know what y'all think about this. Comment below on what you would do in this situation. All right, John, it's all you.
Bye.
That shit crazy. That you stuff. You got to be some fucking ungrateful ass bitch. Niggas just trying to show you love, and you gotta act all cocky like you this stupid fire. Like, bitch, you regular, relax.
Bro, do me a favor, and the next time that you hit up a girl and she doesn't text you back, make sure you know that you're worth more than having an argument with a bitch. Because right now, you looking really low. Because you really arguing with a girl because she didn't want to answer you.
Talking about I'm not attractive, bitch. You must be on mess. Bitch, I look amazing. Fuck you talking about, bitch.
I look amazing. Fuck you talk about, bitch.
I drive phone calls. I'm looking good. I smell good. That's my ass.
I like
You some salty ass bum bitch. Man, as a nigga just tried to come at you. I came at you mad respectful. I showed you love, and you just salty. Some fucking angry ass bitch. You gonna be single all your fucking life. Fucking bozo ass niggas. 9 to 5s like you. Suck my dick. Your mother can suck my dick. Your boyfriend can suck my dick. Your whole family can suck my dick. I'll spit in your face. I'll spit in every single one of your family members' faces. I'll spit in your dead relatives' graves. Suck my fucking dick, bitch. Take it personal. Fatty.
Sound like that, G. Bro, I'm gonna keep on being salty though. As salty as salty.
Yo, Jay, you can stop it right there, bro. Yo, I ain't even gonna hold you. I didn't even listen to that second part like that. He went crazy.
That's what I was saying. Like he got so mad. Like
oh yeah.
Right. Like
All right, so I want to hear your point of view on that. Then I'm gonna say my point of view on it now because it changed. It changed now. I listened to the whole clip. I listened to everything. I got a different perspective on it.
Like, all right, don't get me wrong. All right, cool. Like we might have our days, whatever. Like you comment on shorty like pictures and stuff like that, whether it's on Instagram, Snap, whatever, and they don't respond. Oh well, you know what I'm saying? Like you live and you learn. There's gonna be people that's gonna respond to you. There's gonna be people who just gonna leave you on red. You know what I'm saying? They probably say a little thank you, whatever the case may be. But it ain't have to take it that far to be like, oh, like you this, you that. You was hyping shorty up, right? You did that, and now you got mad because she curved you. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And don't get. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You win some, you lose some. But you ain't had to go off like that. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna spit on your daddy grave. I'm gonna spit on this person, that person. I smell good. I mean, don't get me wrong, that nigga was funny, but it's just like, come on, you ain't had to do all that. Like you stunting for what? Cause she's still laughing at you. So go ahead.
Yo, that shit was wild. Hold up, let me unmute you. Yo, that shit was wild, bro. Like, all right, so this is my initial thing on this situation. So I'm gonna add what I said earlier. Z commented on a bougie ass female post, was liking all her shit. So he assumed that he was doing all that he was supposed to get some attention or whatever. I guess he inboxed her. She probably left him on red, left him on scene, whatever. So then he got tight. I'm assuming it's on Snapchat. He must have been replying to her pictures on Snapchat because that thread is in Snapchat. So she probably opened it up and then didn't reply back. So that is second part, bro. You ain't have to do her like that. As long as she opened it, she saw it, she know your vibe with her, you Gucci. Like once you start bringing up that aggressive type shit, bro, I wouldn't be surprised if she blocked you.
Right.
Like, cause that was wild. He called her a faggot. Like that shit. I'm gone, bro. Like he was really tight. But
right.
So he's obviously wrong for that, and the female's correct. You know, he's arguing with a female because the female didn't wanna entertain him. She's seen a message, she's seen all that, but it kind of goes late, bro. She could have said thank you.
Right. But think about it though.
She could have said she could have. Oh, you look nice. You look good. I like your hair. I like your smile. Thank you.
Nah, it's not even that. She ain't having none of that. It's probably
bro.
Because
if I hold on. You saying no, but in real life, right? You walk past shorty. She smell good. She look nice. You like, hello. You look nice today. And then she did that shit, like gave you the cold shoulder, gave you an ugly face, gave you all that. What would you do in that situation?
Oh, what did I say? Well, what did I say earlier? All I said was, bro, you win some. I might be mad. Don't get me wrong. I might be like, yo, what the fuck?
Nah, I wouldn't even be like, what the fuck? I'd be like, yo, I'll give you a compliment, dead ass. Like, fuck what you talk about. Like, nobody else give you a compliment, bro. Say thank you. Keep it at that. I keep that same energy. Fuck you talking about. I started an argument like that ass. I could have kept that to myself. Like I'm coming out saying that you look nice and all that. You can't say thank you. Like you that bougie. Thank you. All it takes. You sitting here not saying shit, giving a stink face like, oh, I know I look good. Nah, bitch, you ugly now. Your hair fucked up. I can see your hairline. Your lace front falling back. Your titties is uneven. Your ass is sloppy. Your feet is big as fuck. Your legs look like turkey sausages. I'm on your ass. Glizzy Gladiator looking ass. The Hawk looking ass. I'm on you now. Stop playing with me. Say thank you, and we don't have to drag the situation. See, social media is different though. Social media is different. But if that shit was in person, his energy should have been used in person.
Right. But even that. What I was trying to say is like that's probably the wrong shorty he approached. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that is because there's gonna be females. There's gonna be people in general that's gonna entertain that. They probably like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna put up a front just to see how you react. And that one just didn't react the way he wanted her to react.
But that shit was funny though. That shit had me rolling dry. I was like, what the fuck? Now hear that second part, I'm gone. I'm about to.
You must be go. I still fuck. I still know.
That shit was funny, bruh. But that's crazy, like.
And the funny thing is, I know motherfuckers like that. I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know motherfuckers is gonna get mad like that. It's gonna just start going off. I'm like, bro, it's not that big of a deal. Like,
but hold on.
Bro, it is what it is.
It is what it is. But I want to go back onto that clip you just played. So now that I'm sitting here thinking, he's saying that, yo, you look good, you look this and this and that. So when he cursed her out, he got her attention, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was replying, so she likes that shit.
I told you.
She likes that aggressive shit. She likes when niggas get mad. She's entertained by that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I got your attention by coming at you heavy. So it's like, it's crazy.
All the attention.
That's a fact. You replaying now that I'm coming at you. You know what I'm saying? Like before when I was coming at you all sweet and shit, you gave me the cold shoulder. But now when I'm coming at you like fuck you, all this I spit on your dead people's grave. Now you wanna reply back to me and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So if he had game, he would work off that because he already got her attention. He already got her in the loop. So if he had game, he better. We need to see the update on that. We need to hit him up and be like, yo, what happened? Like, what happened after all that? Did she hit you up? You know what I'm saying?
Clips and stuff, but like he I only played like what you call it. They only played like that certain part. You gotta get part 2 on it. So.
Right. We definitely gotta look for part 2. Yo, to find that clip, it will be in the comments in the description because this shit had me dying. That shit was funny as fuck, bro. But. You know, in all reality, to change the subject, because we get ready to end this podcast, because we're coming up on our time. But in all reality, female, stop playing. Fuck out of here. But John, you got anything to conclude this podcast?
Nah, I got. So it's for that first one. Definitely give us views. Like, comment, repost, share, get this shit out.
Like, comment, repost, and share. But if you aren't already in tune, Blackout 5 is still happening. Blackout 5 is still a movie coming to you November 14th, located at Orange Crate, Syracuse, New York, home of the Orangemen. Making it happen. Flyer will drop this Friday. What's this Friday's date, John? I think it's the 18th. Friday the 18th, the official Blackout 5 5th anniversary of Blackout flyer will drop. More details, more information, Eventbrite tickets, everything will go on sale. Make sure you catch that Friday podcast to stay in the loop of all We Are Reckless Entertainment, the movement, information. You know the vibes. Things about to get reckless. You now tuned in with James, John Medina. We out. Bow.